Hello Sagittarius, so I'm doing your weekly tarot for June the 27th to July the 4th. I'm going to take a look at what is going on in your situation. We'll find out why it's happening. We're looking at what's going on in your blind spot, figuring out anything that's working for you at this time, and of course we're seeing how it is likely going to play out. Okay, right, so you have got the crystal, and this one says clarity, perfection and energy. You are pure and perfect just as you are. All right, so you don't have to change anything about what you're doing at this time, Sag, because it looks like you've pretty much got it all sorted. Okay, you're definitely on the right path here. I feel as well that there's been a lot of introspection that's gone on more recently, okay, and it looks like as well that you might have had a significant breakthrough when it comes down to your own healing journey. Okay, they're showing me a puzzle. They're showing me a puzzle, and I feel like for the past couple of months you might have metaphorically have had a couple of pieces of this puzzle missing, but either the past couple of weeks or this week coming up, you're going to discover, or you have recently discovered, those missing pieces of the puzzle that you needed to progress on your own healing journey. I also feel like there's been a revelation that you have made about yourself more recently, and it has filled you with this sense of peace. Okay, and that sense of peace is possibly another part of the missing pieces of the puzzle that, you know, has been missing for a while. Okay, Sag, I do apologize. I'm struggling to think in this heat, right? We are experiencing beautiful summertime over here in the UK, and all of the rumours that you have heard about the UK summers are all entirely true. I've got an air conditioner in my room, but I can't leave it running while I'm filming, and like literally as soon as I shut it off, that heaviness of the air, it just hits you like a train. Okay, so I do have to apologize before we get any deeper into your reading. My brain is gonna be fried. Speaking of fried, you've got the fire. Passion, desire and energy. Harness your energy to make big things happen. Okay, so yeah, with you being a fire sign, you're going to be really in your element this week, Sag, and I feel as well that there is a strong sense of confidence. I'm understanding this energy as you potentially launching something or starting something new. Okay, if you haven't done it yet, if it's all in the planning stages, then this is going to be your week to actually apply yourself and put in the action on whatever this idea is that you have. That this is very creative energy, this fire. Okay, and you really leaning into your own creative passions. Now this can also indicate sexual energy as well. It's possible, Sag, that your love life could be heating up this week. Okay, lucky you if that is the case. Either way, they're saying here for you to harness your energy and your imagination, and like this week is going to be the week for you to really take the initiative. Okay, take the initiative and get something done. Okay, so we're going to use a tarot, and we're going to take a deeper dive into this one in just a moment. And we'll see if we can get a deeper layer into this for you. Okay, Right, so, oh, also, if you have been curious with that crystal energy, if you have been curious about crystal healing, cleansing, anything like that, then again, this is going to be a really good week for you to do that. They're also showing me a fire agate, okay? Again, you might want to go Google the properties of fire agate. But the combination of these two, it does give me strong fire agate vibes, which could possibly point towards your root chakra. Now, again, not everybody is going to subscribe to the chakra systems. It's absolutely fine, right? The way that I personally approach the chakra systems is from more of like a psychological angle. That's what I find works for me. But what works for me is not necessarily going to work for you, okay? So the root chakra stuff that I'm certain this is pointing towards is all about your survival instincts, okay? It's all about what makes you feel secure. It's all about what keeps you grounded in the moment. It can also be tied into your past, your upbringing, okay? The root cause of something, right? If there's any trauma that's going on, then definitely this week is going to be the week to sit with that, okay? To make peace with that, because obviously you can't go back and you can't change it, but this is about finding healthy ways of living with it in a way where it's not going to be impeding on your present moment, your present decisions, and therefore your future, okay? There's definitely a heavy emphasis on what you do now matters, okay? And then messages connected to root chakra, grounding, past, okay? Right, so can you tell us more about this? Oh, crystal and fire, interesting. The Two of Swords, right, so there's an important decision here that you are needing to make. I don't know what about, right? I'm going to ask in a minute. They're saying here, because we've got to combine all three of these messages together, that you already know what it is that you need, what it is that you want, and more importantly, you already know how you're going to achieve this, okay? I kind of feel that there might be a little bit too much emphasis on the others and what other people are doing, or maybe the way that other people are doing what you're wanting to do. Okay, and then a bit of confusion there surrounding, well, it's not working out for me. Why is that not working out for me? Okay, literally because you need to find your own way of doing things. Okay, you need to find what it is that works for you. That's where your creativity and your imagination's gonna come into play, and you taking the initiative. All right. This combination here is a very spiritual combination, and it does tie in to certain issues that are quite well known that go on within the spiritual community, right, where certain people seem to think that they've got all of the answers, and you know that they've got this magic formula that everyone needs to follow, and it's all bullshit. Okay, true spirituality is literally finding your way of doing things, finding what works specifically for you, because true spirituality is uncovering the truth of who you are, okay? Getting closer to self, basically, the Fool. So you see, the two of, I nearly said wands. I do apologize, Sag. Like I said, this air is suffocating. The Two of Swords and the Fool, right? So ignore what everyone else is doing. And I mean that wholeheartedly, okay? To hell with what everyone else is doing. To hell with whatever it is that they're saying, okay? You need to really tune in to your own energy here. Surrender, release, new journey, okay? New start, new project, new life. Total newness, right? New sense of self, new discoveries. That requires a lot of faith, and it does require surrendering that control, okay? That's what the Fool's all about. It's literally saying, Sag, travel light, okay? Travel light. Do away with all of this other stuff, okay? And the other stuff is usually other people's opinions, okay? Other people making out, oh, you're doing it wrong, right? If you're a card reader, I mean, I know for definite I have had it myself. Oh, you're reading the cards wrong. What? What is that even supposed to mean, right? You got to do things your way, all right? What feels good, right, and correct for you. Can you tell us more for Sag? Nice big jump there, the Tower. You know what this Tower is? Because again, look at the combination of cards. That, Sagittarius, is you going against the grain. That's what that Tower is. Is you going, you know what, fuck this shit. You do things your way, I'm going to do things my way. Happy days. Right? A lot of people are not used to that. They're not used to people going against the grain. They're not used to people going against what is popular. Okay. That's that Tower right there. That needs to happen. And there's a message here, Sag, about how it needs to happen this week, ideally. Which is you doing away with all of the old beliefs, all of the old ways, okay? All of everyone else's misguided or egotistical opinions, okay? Maybe yes, maybe some of them are naive, right? It's very possible. But you mustn't allow the naivety or the small-mindedness of others to stop you from achieving what you have been put here on this planet to achieve, okay? Now, obviously, I'm not going to know exactly what that is. It's going to be different for all of you anyway. And I'm not a psychic, I'm an intuitive, all right? So this, I feel strongly that your life purpose is inherently tied in to what is taking place this week. I genuinely do. You're Sag, you were never designed to fit into a neat little box or a neat little package. Okay, that's not Sagittarius energy at all. You, Sagittarius, and Aquarius are supposed to stand out from the crowd. You're supposed to be the rebels, right? Because, and again, like, I don't want to get too deep into it, but Sagittarius and Aquarius are supposed to show the rest of us how to successfully rebel and go against the grain, and how to successfully use our own imaginations and do things our own way. Okay. Anyway, let's take a look at why this is happening. So this is the catalytic energy, oasis. Refuge, safety, and respite. Seek respite, find safety and peace. For your catalytic energies, this is very much, I would say it's a blend of the Hermit energy with the Four of Swords in traditional tarot. Okay, it's kind of like a crossover of those two in one card. Okay, now the lovely thing with this card as well, you can see these camels. They're very, very subtle, but they are there. There's one there, and then there's like three there. Okay. The camel symbology often reflects a person's ability to go the distance. It often reflects someone's ability also to go through some of the harshest of times and yet still somehow thrive. Okay, it's being prepared for that long journey, right? That long, difficult journey. But also taking it in their stride as well. Okay, so there's a strong message there for you, Sag, about how you are gonna persevere, right? Now, as far as the catalytic energy goes, I feel like your sense of peace and solitude has been disrupted, okay? I feel like it has been, and I feel that it's been disrupted by other people's, again, misguided opinions, okay? Other people's negative attitudes, single-mindedness, closed-mindedness, okay? Like the list goes on. Take your pick. I feel like your sense of safety and solitude has been disrupted from external sources. And that's been the catalyst here. It has forced you to dig deep and go within and to make these discoveries of self, okay? A lot like being bullied or ganged up upon or something like that, yeah? It's been the catalyst here. So, yeah, it's time for you to rebuild, recreate that sense of peace, safety and serenity within, so that no one else can disturb that then. Okay, can you tell us more about the catalyst? Yeah, Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is very, very erratic energy, but it can also indicate a person who's got a lot of drive, a lot of enthusiasm, okay? Try as they might, they have been unable to quash your enthusiasm and to kill off your drive, your creativity, okay? Yeah, I honestly, I love that for you, Sag, because it really does go to show that you don't follow the crowd at all, not even remotely. Look, King of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, I'm super, super careful about the orientation of the cards, okay? You would have saw that card coming out of the deck and the way it landed, and you would have seen me being careful not to turn or change up its orientation as I was putting it there, right? This one indicates greed. Right, it indicates selfishness, it's possessive energy, it's someone who is quite prepared to exploit others, okay? Very, very wasteful, a show-off as well. That's all King of Pentacles energy. Someone who puts far too much stock into what their reputation is, how other people might view them, okay? Man or woman doesn't make a difference at all. It's someone who is incredibly shallow and typically puts money and possessions and power over others above everything and everyone else, okay? It's a hoarder also, all right? The King of Pentacles reversed is someone who hoards. Either they hoard wealth or they hoard people, right? Could be animal stuff. Usually it's stuff. And money and possessions, right? Usually it is stuff. But if it is about a person who hoards people, what I mean by that is they typically will buy friendships, okay? Or, you know, make out like they're something that they're not in order to try and impress other people and hoard people that way. Definitely someone who feeds off of the kudos of others, okay? Typically will enjoy trying to make other people jealous just as that they themselves can feel something, anything, okay? It's this desire for importance, I guess, that they are unable to create this like they can't create genuine connections, right, at all. And they believe that when others are looking at them in a jealous way that they have succeeded with something, Okay, it's a really weird energy, but this person is a catalyst. All right, they're coming out as a catalyst, and I feel that this is somebody that you've gone, you know, I really don't want to be like them. I don't want to be that type of person, okay? Because when you really look at the cards, it looks a lot like you're running away from this person. You're running away from this energy. You're trying to get away as fast as what you can, okay? So this person, any sign, any gender, doesn't matter, they have been a catalyst in some regard to your own awakening or reawakening or your healing journey, okay? Right. What's going on in your blind spot? Storm. So what you don't see coming is chaos, anger, and turbulence, okay? The tower energy, basically. In difficult and turbulent times, remember that this too shall pass, all right? So, yes, number one, the difficult times that you have been experiencing, that we've already seen with the camel symbology, is not going to last forever, right? There is going to be respite for you, okay? Like we've already seen that. Now, I honestly feel, Sag, and I hate to tell you this, but I also can't pick and choose what messages that I give you, okay? I have to give you everything that I can see, that I can feel. I feel like this is you being on the receiving end of someone else's anger, okay? It is short-lived, okay? I will tell you that much. It's definitely short-lived. It's like this person here is about to have a bit of an outburst, and you being on the receiving end of that one. That's why it's in your blind spot. Okay, now for a small handful of you guys, this could be your own anger bubbling up to the surface, okay? And if that's the case, then it's saying acknowledge your anger, right? Don't ignore it. That's the worst thing you could do, is ignore your anger. But equally, the other worst thing that you could do is to take action while you're angry, okay? So if this is about your own personal anger, you've got to sit with it and try and unpack what your anger is trying to tell you about yourself and the situation that you're experiencing, okay? Usually your anger is going to be the parts of you that knows full well that you deserve to be treated better, okay? That's justified anger. I highly suspect that we're talking about a different type of anger here, though, because I definitely feel like this is something that is coming towards you, right? And I feel like this is more of like a temper tantrum type anger, an outburst, okay? Because we've already revealed this King of Pentacles person in the reverse, all right? And I feel, especially given the fact that we've already had a tower, we've already had a tower here. And this is you doing things your way, going your own way, you writing your own script, you moving deliberately, taking yourself away from this person here, deliberately moving away from their energy, their opinions, okay? And you focused on developing or strengthening this strong sense of self. I feel here like that has really angered this energy, this person here, okay? Because you're making a statement. Your actions are making a statement. And they honestly cannot cope with that. And I'll tell you for why. Because when they have lost control and influence, Yes, they will then go on to try and control the rhetoric and control what other people think of you and all the rest of it. But they also, it hurts their own ego. Okay, it takes away their sense of self. Dry air. Okay, it takes away their sense of self. Can you tell us about this storm in Sagittarius's blind spot? I also believe that this person is not going to give you any kind of warning. They're just going to metaphorically blow up, seemingly out of nowhere, okay? It's a proper WTF moment, this one. Can you tell us about this storm? Yeah, the Magician. Interesting. And what else? The Two of Wands. Okay, so, I mean, that pretty much changes things for you then, Sag, right? Here's the thing. Had they not have responded or blown up in the way that they did, you would have chosen a different path or a different option, right? Because they are choosing to respond in such a manner, it's changing your mind here about something to do with them, right? Working with them, being with them, letting them help, whatever the case is, right? You're changing up your mind here and you're choosing differently as a direct response to this chaos, anger and turbulence, right? Can you tell us more about this Magician energy? So you have more control and power in the situation than what you might be realizing that you actually have. What's this Magician? Knight of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords off balance, okay? I do feel that there is a bit of embarrassment that's going on. I also feel that you're likely going to get blamed for something. I mean, you could be dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You don't have to be though, okay? They can literally be any sign. I feel like you're creating an embarrassing situation for them because you're changing up your mind. You're like, oh, okay, I'm not doing this, right? Getting away from them as fast as what you can. And then they try and bounce something back to you through their own embarrassment. Honestly, I'm seeing them embarrassing themselves here, and I'm seeing you handling it in a very level-headed manner, okay? Because you're refusing to fall into their trap or their trick here. The shell, so what's working for you is eternity, protection and safety. You are protected and safe, okay? That's what's working for you. I also feel here that this is saying trusting in the process. This is like a safe haven away from this erratic individual, this person who is completely incapable of behaving like an adult, okay? And look, the King of Swords, that one's come out entirely off balance, okay? Their plan failed. Their plan failed. So if we're looking at potential sabotage, their plan is going to fail because you're getting out of dodge here before anything lands. Okay, you're dodging something. Okay, their plan has failed. That's what's working for you. Yeah, Eight of Swords again and Judgment. So the thing is, they are going to be under heavy judgment now. All right, because of the crap that they've been putting out there. All right, they are under heavy judgment. They are being judged. And it is not favourable at all. That's what's working for you, Sag. So you don't need to take revenge on this person, okay? Because, like I said, they're already under judgment. Ultimately, I also feel like they've gotten themselves caught up in their own web here as well. Because again, if you look at the cards, right, the King of Swords off balance, Eight of Swords in the upright this time. We've already seen it off balance there in your blind spot. So this person's trying to lead you into a trap, or lead you into an argument, or lead you into a no-win type situation, right? They're trying to lead you somewhere, none of it good. And they end up getting caught up in their own trap here. Like straight up, because you're protected. So they didn't realize, oh man, I don't particularly like saying it because it sounds a bit too woo for some, but it's what's coming through. They didn't realize like who was protecting you in the spiritual realm. They haven't a clue who your ancestors are that are watching over you, right? This is exactly why people shouldn't just go around willy-nilly attacking other people, because you never fucking know who is on the other side protecting that person. Okay, Sag? You've got heavy spiritual defenses here, and I don't say that lightly because it's not something that typically comes out very often. But again, look at the messages, look at the cards. It's all stacking up. And the best thing is, Sag, it's all stacking up in your favour. And there's nothing that this person can do. Not a thing. And in fact, the more negative bullshit that they're chucking at you, the more that actually hits them in the face. That there's a strong rebound effect that's going on here. You don't have to do a goddamn thing here, Sag. The tree, growth, life, and establish for how this is likely going to play out. It says to reach for your full potential and focus on obtaining wisdom. Okay, so yeah, this person is a classic example of who not to be, of who not to become. Okay, I think that lens has gone a bit dirty again. Let me just grab my little lens cleaner here a minute. I'll switch out to the overhead camera so you don't have to watch as I'm cleaning this other frame. But yeah, your fullest potential is going to be reached here, Sag, okay? There is absolutely nothing that this person can do that is going to affect you in a negative way, okay? You're still going to be able to put down strong roots. You're still going to be able to harvest your fruits when they do come in. And in fact, when you take a closer look at this card, right? At first, it looks like that tree, that there's not a lot going on. Right, it looks like an autumn tree, doesn't it? It looks bare. But then when you zoom in, you're like, oh, hold on. There's new shoots of life here. These leaves are coming back in again. So this tree is waking up, right? Again, there's another message there. There's a lot more that's going on, Sag, with your own personal growth and development that you might not be seeing on the surface. Okay, so those leaves, they're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then hopefully that tree is going to fruit. Yeah, this person, whoever they are, they cannot stop you, and they will not be able to stop you. Okay, you will become established, whatever that means specifically for you. If this is you starting a new career or a new business, it's going to completely be successful. Okay, Seven of Wands to clarify that message there. Keep defending your position, your opinions. Okay, keep standing your ground. Keep, I don't know, fighting for your rights, whatever they might be. And the Chariot, yeah, that's the only real way forward here. And it's also saying as well, because this is your most likely outcome, that you're going to make fast progress. Okay. And you will quickly be able to put this entire nightmare scenario behind you. Okay. Strongest overall message for the week is the Hermit. We pretty much started off your reading there with the Hermit, didn't we? or very similar energies there, which is all about that introspection and wisdom. Okay. It feels to me like you're well and truly on the path of self-mastery. Okay. And that's what makes you a threat. Right, so let's take a look at some healing messages for you. Okay, dark moon and the past. Where's my book gone? I'll hold this card up for you in just a minute. This one's number 30. Okay, so it says, and get this, Sag, you're ready to leave something behind. Fear is stopping you from moving forward, but there is nothing to be scared of. Something in your past needs to be released. It could be a perceived failure, a relationship, a fear created by something that happened to you, either recently or a long time ago. It is holding you back. An important distinction to make, the dark moon energies of this card are dark. As per the expression, it is darkest before the dawn. That's the darkness that we're talking about here. So when this card comes up, you're at the precipice of some kind. Either you fall back into the past, or you decide to call your energies back to you so that you no longer have a part of your energetic body being stuck in the past. The energy around you now holds literally awesome power of the dark goddess, whom we were all taught to fear, but in truth helps us to break with the past. Clear out negativity now. Okay, they're pausing me there, Sag. They're saying that this message is specifically for those individuals who were brought up, like man or woman, doesn't matter. If you were brought up to be a people pleaser, then you're no longer doing that. Okay. Clear out negativity now to make peace. Interesting. It doesn't say peace, it says space. But yeah, let's go with that as well, Sag. So clear out negativity now to make peace and space for something new and better. That's the message of this card. Additional meanings for this card. Your dreams about the past are a clue to your situation. You're about to turn the corner at last. It's the darkest before the dawn. There is nothing for you to fear, and embrace your power. Okay? So, I mean, it's fairly self-explanatory, isn't it? Don't allow your fears to dictate your decision-making. Clear out the past, whether that be people, habits, anything. Okay? Right, there will be times where you feel tired, that you can't push forth any further, but you need to dig deep and pull that shit out of you to keep going. Okay, you're not a quitter, Sag. You're not known to be a quitter. Okay? And the first chapter of your life will not matter as much as the last chapter of your life. It'll show you how well you have carried yourself through all of the shitty obstacles thrown your way, and you're going to realize that you have won by how much you've grown. Exactly. So it's pretty much in line with some people have to wait until maybe they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s before they actually are able to enjoy their life. Okay, obviously the sooner the better. Okay, but the first half of your life, there's going to be a fuck ton of mistakes. Okay, leave them in the past where they belong. It is not worth carrying them through into the second half of your life, into the rest of your days. Okay, but But yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. I genuinely hope that that reading has been helpful. If it has been helpful, then I definitely would appreciate a cheeky wee like on the video, or even better still, consider subscribing to my channel as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic to have you join our wonderful community over here on YouTube. It's completely free as well. Okay, there are no membership charges on my channel. There never has been, there never will be. For personal readings with me, my website is phoenixkeiatarot.com. The link for that is in my description box below. Thank you so very, very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.